Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you all? Enjoying the rains? I know it must be a little troublesome as well, but then this is the rainy season, so rains are expected. Anyways, coming back to brass tacks, today's topic is a little break from the vocabulary enhancement videos that I've been making. And today I'll be discussing something which is very important, but we do not give it importance and we do not even think about it. And that is listening skills. Yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about my audience who listen to me when I make my videos. So, how and why it's important to listen, and it's something very important which has also been named as listening skills. Listening actually is a skill also. So we'll discuss the listening skills today. What are they? Why are they important? And how can we improve upon them? So here goes. I'll start with my presentation. I'll share my screen. And viewers, just in case my slides do not move, please do excuse me because I do get stuck because of this one reason. So, welcome to Elephant English Enterprise. I am your host, Archana Mathur, welcoming you to this new video of mine. And today we are going to discuss listening skills. This is where I keep getting stuck. Okay, next please. Yes. So, listening skills. I know we've never given it a thought, but yes, listening also is categorized as a skill. So, what are listening skills? Why are they important? And how to improve our listening skills is what I'm going to discuss today with you. Okay. Now, listening skills generally refers to the reception, which is effective reception, interpretation, and understanding of spoken information. That is, the ability to effectively receive, interpret, and understand spoken information. Now, here I remember a very interesting incident that happened long, long years ago when it was, I think, when I was just a school going kid, and we were all cousins together, and we all, we used to talk a lot, just chatter all the time. But one of my cousins, a very dear sister of mine, she was absolutely quiet, usually in all our conversations, which used to be otherwise very animated. So once I just happened to ask her, I said, why don't you speak? We all speak so much, we all keep talking, but you just keep listening, you smile, but you never give your reaction. So her answer, it really stumped me. She said, Didi, agar sab bolenge to sunega kaun? And yes, I still remember her words. I've never been able to forget that if everybody speaks, who's going to listen? So listening is important. And in that young and tender age, she gave me a big lesson. Thanks to you, my dear sister. So here it is, the ability to effectively receive, interpret, and understand spoken information. This is what we are going to discuss. Now, what is effectively receiving? That is, listen carefully. When somebody is speaking to you, you have to listen very carefully. Then you need to interpret what exactly is the person trying to say. Then understand. First, interpret in your own way and then understand what are the implications of what is being said to you. And then you make your own decision, or uh, then you decide how you want to take it. Okay, next slide. Now, why is it important to have good listening skills? This gives you better or improved communication. Okay. Then, which means actually, good listening skills, it fosters better understanding between individuals and avoids misunderstandings and misinterpretations. So, what is effective communication? That is when two people are communicating, then there should be no misunderstandings, there should be no misinterpretations. And so, if you listen carefully to the other person, your communication will automatically improve. The second important aspect of listening carefully is that it builds relationships. If it's just one person talking, 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 the other person is just listening, so the interest somehow it comes down, it wavers. So it has to be a very healthy kind of communication so that there is a personal relationship which can be set, because we ultimately are human beings, and for us relationships are very, very important. So good communication, and in that the contribution of listening skills, it helps or it fosters good relationships. The third is enhanced learning. Now this is especially in a classroom situation. If the children do not listen to the teacher, if they do not listen to what is being said by the educator, obviously there will be no listening, there will be no understanding. Now, we as teachers do remember, and I recollect many a times there are students who are not interested at all. They're disinterested in the lecture, and they sleep with their eyes open. So obviously that means they're not listening to you, and ultimately their learning is affected adversely. So in classroom situations, it is very important, it is mandatory for students to listen carefully so as to understand the subject matter which is being taught to them. Also, listening skills help in conflict resolution. Like when people feel heard and understood. Like suppose a student is caught for something wrong, and he or she is taken to a senior authority in the school, not necessarily the principal, but there is some problem. So this child or this student must be given a chance to explain so that there is resolution of this conflict, which otherwise may snowball into a larger mishap. So if there is patient listening to students, which usually we do not, we only hear one side of the story and we give our judgments. So the best way to resolve conflicts is to listen patiently to both the sides. Now we come to career advancement. When we talk about career advancement, we are told or we are made to understand that effective listening is a very sought after skill in the workplace and can contribute to better teamwork, to leadership, and to problem solving abilities. So, like whenever, whatever situation is there in when you are working or anybody is in the workplace, if you listen to your colleagues, to your superiors, to your juniors, there are a lot many ways in which it's going to be helpful to you personally and to your organization in the larger sense. And of course, when we come to customer satisfaction, we know that we have customer care departments in almost all industries and all setups. So these people who are customer relationship managers or officers or workers, they are supposed to listen to the customer very, very patiently and then offer solutions to their problems. Otherwise, if there's no customer satisfaction, it's going to reflect upon the company uh, at large. So it's very important for customer care executives to listen very carefully to their customers. Now, how to improve your listening skills? This is very, very important. We have to become active listeners. How do we do it? So the first is, of course, pay 100% attention. Listen very carefully. Whoever is speaking to you, whatever it may be, even if it's a small child and he's discussing something which is very, very non-essential, but it is our duty to listen to that child carefully. Because there have been times where children have said something, parents did not pay attention, and that led to disaster. So it's very important to listen, because if somebody is speaking and you give them attention, you focus on what they are saying, it gives them a feel good kind of a feeling. And so when you're listening to somebody, it's better to avoid doing other things. Do not multitask when somebody is talking to you. Maintain eye contact. That's very important, because if you look here and there, which usually people do, the person who's the speaker feels very disheartened that his words are not being given any importance. So it's very important to look into their eyes and keep nodding, or in some way or the other, you have to convey to the other person that you are listening, so that when your turn comes to speak, you are not neglected the way you have been neglected that other. You have been neglecting the other person. The third point to improve your listening skills is to be very patient. At times, people do speak something which is of absolutely no relevance to our lives or to our work, but we must learn to be patient. Let them complete it. It's their way, it's his or her way of conveying a certain thing to you. So, if you listen patiently, then you will be able to understand what the other person is actually trying to convey to you. It's difficult, I know, but then we have to try. Another very important aspect is to avoid assumptions. We normally, it's been discussed recently that we generally listen to react. We don't listen to understand. We listen to react. We want to give our immediate, reaction to what is being said by somebody. So let's just get over this habit. Let us avoid these assumptions. It's not really necessary. I mean, don't jump to conclusions as such, because that's not a very healthy sign. So when a person is saying something, let them complete the statement or whatever they are trying to say. It's really, really important. Now, paraphrase and summarize. That means try to summarize. A person may be speaking for a long time, and so try to extract a gist of what is being said and then summarize. Some people have the habit of dragging a certain issue, and some people come to the point very quickly. So we have to be patient listeners in both the cases. If somebody finishes very fast, very good, you're lucky. But if you're not so lucky at certain times, you must learn to listen and then summarize as per the situation, whatever it might be. So next, now improving your listening skills has 5 more options or 5 more ways. So one is ask questions. Like if you feel that whatever somebody said to you, you're not satisfied with it, or you have any doubts, it's better to ask a question, because usually people say, I've said this, any questions, any doubts, any clarifications. So be upfront, speak up, ask questions, clarify your doubts. Because if you don't, then it's no point, communicating. So till your point of view is clear, or your understanding about that point, whichever is being discussed is clear, it's actually worthless going further ahead with your conversation. So asking questions is very important for proper understanding. Then practice empathy. Uh, Now, I may take an example of people who stammer or who are not able to convey something quickly. There are some people who beat about the bush and they take some time in coming to the point. So if you continue to say, come to the point quickly, come to the point quickly, what are you trying to say? So the other person gets disheartened and he or she may lose sight of what he or she was trying to say. And if somebody stammers, please be patient. It's an abnormality. It is an anomaly in a person's speech. So be good enough to understand that part, because a person cannot help it. It's something beyond his or her control. So we have to be empathetic as listeners, because maybe we are in that situation someday. So we need to practice empathy. You have to be supportive to your colleagues and whoever is there around you. Be open minded. Yes, you have to be receptive to the ideas which are being conveyed to you by people, because tables may turn. You may be the speaker and others don't listen to you and they do not receive what message you are trying to convey. So you have to be open minded. You have to give importance to what other people are saying. Maybe it's something which is totally against your point of view, but be open minded. Try to understand their point of view also. I'm not saying agree with what they're saying, but try to understand their point of view. So these two things are entirely different. Listen to different speakers. Now, in different situations, there are different types of speakers. I've already mentioned it. So try to listen to all types of speakers. Do not get, unnecessarily agitated or impatient. So be patient when you're listening, because you never know when a certain point may come up and something which may, strike something which is important in your mind. It rings a bell. So be ready for that particular moment. And then after all this is over, you must try to reflect on your listening ability. That I heard that person, was I a good listener, or I should have done something better? So if you try to do a kind of a self-assessment, you will become a better listener. So that was it for today. Thank you so much, viewers, for watching. I hope I discussed something which might have made you feel interested. And please do continue to watch my videos. I'll try to bring more meaningful things. And it's always a pleasure to be back with you all. So thank you, and please don't mind the video quality, because I'm using a virtual background, and probably it's not as good as the blurred one. But anyhow, thank you for being here with me and listening to me, because that is what I was trying to imply today. So good night. Have a very happy Sunday tomorrow morning. See you soon. Bye bye.